told Huya he is trying to do something. Maybe he has to create one more new link. Now he's
Okay, now joined.
Yeah.
Now joined. Now joined. That's done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Namaste,
sir.
sir. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Very sorry, it is a lapse on our part actually. It is not your lapse on our
I am
part.
sorry for being late.
No. You are on time, sir. You are on time. Maybe technically, we have not created proper link. Maybe because of that.
Mobile बंद कर दो सौरभ.
So very sorry for causing trouble and without taking much time, because already 15 minutes gone. So Professor H.K. Singh is a well-known person in the field of commerce and management across the country. Those the faculty members of commerce, I mean, for them actually it doesn't require any introduction. But this audience consists of the faculty of commerce, economics, and management from different parts of the country. We have around 40 participants here. This is HRDC, UGC HRDC a refresher course, and we started this program from January 1st. It is a 2-week program. And a brief introduction about Professor H.K. Singh, and he is presently holding the post of Professor of Commerce at Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. He has been the founder, Vice Chancellor of Maharishi University of Information Technology, Lucknow. At a very young age, he could become a Vice Chancellor in the country, and he has a teaching and research experience of almost more than 35 years, almost 40 years. He joined teaching profession in the year 1986 after qualifying JRF of UGC New Delhi. He has served as Professor of Commerce BHU for more than 15 years and Associate cum Assistant Professor for 2 decades at Allahabad University in the disciplines of accounting and finance. He has supervised more than 25 PhD scholars. Professor Singh has been the gold medalist of BCom and MCom from Allahabad University and has written 19 popular books and have around a number of research papers to his credit. And his 3 books have been awarded as best textbooks by AICTE New Delhi. Professor Singh has been the EC member of ICA, Indian Commerce Association, a very large organization, for 2 terms, and the sectional chairman of AICC's seminar held at Nagpur in the year 2008. He has also been the treasurer of Indian Commerce Association and managing editor of our popular journal, Indian Journal of Commerce. He is the patron of reputed International Journal of Business and Social Studies and chief managing editor of Quarterly Journal of Management Development. He has been the sectional chairman of All India Accounting Conference held at Chandigarh in the year 2015. And he has also been nominated as President, Indian Association for Management Development in the year 2016. He has been a member of various academic bodies, and very difficult to list out all these things. So in brief, this is very brief CV about Professor H.K. Singh, and above all, he is a well-wisher of every academic. What I like about him is he is a well-wisher of every academic, whether he is a senior professor or a scholar, a newly joined scholar in any department. And he is a well-wisher of our department and our university also. And he served our university as a member of school board some time back. And with this brief introduction, I welcome Professor H.K. Singh. And sir, this is your time now. We are eager to listen to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good morning to everyone. My elder brother, Professor Jyoti Kumar Sahab, who is the academic stalwart of our business education. My friend, Professor Bhartendu Singh, and other participants. Firstly, I must say sorry for being late, but there was no any role of my part. It was some technical problem. You will excuse me for being late. The year 2020, in which in our country the COVID started. It was the vision 2020 of Abul Kalam. We were expecting that Indian economy will become the developed nation, super economic power. 2020 came, but there was a serious problem of COVID-19 in the month of March. But in that year, two most important events occurred. Number one, National Education Policy, NEP 2020. For the first time, the name is national. A paradigm shift from Lord Macaulay philosophy to the Gurukula philosophy of our Indian system. And number two, ANBA, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Both are complementary and supplementary. NEP, self-reliant economy and self-reliant education. Whatever loss occurred due to the COVID-19, if these two efforts, NEP and ANBA, self-reliant India, will be implemented into the proper way, probably the damage may be compensated. The topic which today I have decided, managerial applications of CBP analysis or BEP or marginal costing. Gone are the days of financial accounting, please permit me. Financial accounting was by and large post-mortem examination. What has happened, we were recording. And when we were student, if the total of balance sheet is same, assets and liability total are same, we were thinking my purpose has been served. But in this 21st century, if the total is same, it has no any special meaning. Now the real accounting starts. You see, there is paradigm shift from the philosophy of profit in the full costing, total costing, absorption costing. Our perfect focus was on the profit. But nowadays, we have to more bother about contribution. You are aware, contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost. For practical purposes, marginal cost means variable cost. You are aware about this thing. Marginal cost of n plus 1 unit is equal to total cost of n plus 1 minus total cost of n unit. Just by increase of 1 unit, the impact on the total cost will be known as marginal cost. For short run period, fixed cost will remain fixed. Therefore, only the variable cost is going to affect the total cost by increase 1 unit. Friends, I'm going to talk about the Chinese experiment. In our country, one minor problem always prevails. We are not having the mindset to accept the fundamental changes, basic changes. Normally, we accept changes, not the revolutions. Revolutions are the fundamental changes, basic changes. Before 1991, in China, they shifted from crisis to the surplus economy. In India, we accepted the philosophy of surplus economy in the year 1991 by adopting the LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. And we started this BTech, MTech, MBA popularizing. In China, there is surplus economy, and they are not in the position to sell all the products in their domestic country. Chinese companies are selling their own product at high price in China, and they are intending to sell the same product in India, the neighboring country, at low price. As a student of commerce, management, or economics, you must be knowing it is known as dumping. Dumping means selling the commodity at high price in the domestic country and selling the same product in any other country at the lower price. It is a specific case of discriminating monopoly. Let us take the simplest case study. If one Chinese company is having the production capacity of 1 lakh units, they can produce 1 lakh units. They are selling 60,000 units in their own country. Unutilized capacity is 40,000. They could sell, they are producing 1 lakh, but they could sell only 60,000 into China. Unutilized is 40,000. The cost breakup is variable cost per unit is rupees 6. Fixed cost per unit rupees 2. Therefore, you can say total cost is rupees 8. In China, they are selling the commodity at rupees 10. It means they are earning per unit 2 rupees profit. This is the full costing, absorption costing. It is known as total costing. If India is ready to purchase the same commodity at rupees 7, if you are the believer of full costing means traditional manager, family style of manager, you can say this offer should not be acceptable. If the total cost is rupees 8 and India is ready to purchase at rupees 7, we can say this proposal should not be acceptable. But friends, gone are the days. In place of profit, now we have to consider about contribution. The deciding factor will be contribution. Although I agree, if the total cost is 8 and the price is rupees 7, it's not good. But from the point of view of contribution, and contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost. 7 minus 6, 1 rupee contribution will be earned by this 40,000 units. Now you can say, what will be the profit? I agree, profit is equal to contribution minus fixed cost. Contribution was 1 minus fixed cost, it may be 2, but friends, it will not be 2 because there was production previously. By accepting the offer to India, there is no any additional impact. Therefore, contribution and profit will remain same, 1 rupee. I was simply emphasizing that China is doing it. China is selling the commodities in their domestic country at high price. In your neighboring country, they are selling at lower prices. It is the simplest example of dumping which is applied in the case of discriminating monopoly. Friends, in the present age, India is passing through rapid transformations. Please permit me to talk about the economic specific developments in our country. In 1947, we got independence. The first turning point in the case of economic scenario was in the year 1951, when the 5-year plans were started. It was the start of 5-year plans by the great visionary, our first Prime Minister, the maiden Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. It was the start of 5-year plans. After 20 years, 1971, there was another turning point. Mrs. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. We started poverty eradication programs. In our country, nationalization was considered the brand for the growth. NTC was established. Certain private sector banks were nationalized. It all happened. After again 20 years, 1991. Next turning point, Mr. Manmohan Singh Saab was the finance minister. He started LPG. It was the Narasimha Rao government. It means after every 20 years, there was turning point in the economic scenario. 1951, 1971, 1991. As a student of economics, commerce and management, we were expecting that now the turning point will occur in the year 2011. There was signal into the economic scenario. In 2009, global financial crisis started. Global financial crisis was the crisis for US economy, for Western economy, not for India. India is having agricultural dominance. Although in USA there was industrial dominance. Indians are having saving culture. US is having consumerism culture. Charvak philosophy, yavat jivet sukham jivet, ऋणम कृत्वा घृतम पिबेत. जब तक जिंदा रहिए सुख से जिंदा रहिए, ऋण लेकर के घी पीजिए. Believe into debt culture, enjoy the life. It was happening to US economy, Western economy, not into India. We are having in accountancy, you are aware, conservatism. Indians are highly conservative. We do believe into saving. My young friends, I have to suggest you, earning is not important. More important is saving. If there is age difference between you and me, I may be more older than you, but I am suggesting make certain savings. In India, it is in accountancy, you are aware, anticipate future losses and make provision for it. But don't anticipate the incomes. We are not bothering about that. In accountancy, we are anticipating future losses and we are making provision for it. It means Indians are having a strong saving orientation. Therefore, this global financial crisis was the turning point of Indian economy. We were expecting in the year 2011 certain specific changes will occur. But I'm sorry to inform you, major changes in the economic policies could not occur. Sometimes it happens. You are a good player, but you may be a poor captain. Please permit me, with your permission, I am adding Sachin Tendulkar was best player, but he was not the best captain. Dhoni was better captain. In 1991, Manmohan Singh Saab was the champion finance minister, but now he was the prime minister. Specific changes could not occur into Indian economy. At least in 2014, the new government, they started, for example, planning commission was converted to Niti Aayog. The name of planning commission was given as Niti Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India, Make in India, Smart, various schemes were started. But whatever expected growth was there, it could not occur in the year 2020. For the last 2 years, I am preaching about this philosophy, that is Spanish flu, which came in the year 1919. It continued for 2 years. I am of the strong opinion that this COVID will continue for 2 years. And now, probably, we are in the post-pandemic era. Probably now the third or fourth wave of this COVID will not continue. I pray, Lord Vishwanath, that the entire world and especially this country should get rid of this COVID. I am feeling that the 2022 will be the start of the post-pandemic era. And this 2022 will be treated as the historical year on the economic front. Friends, let us think about professionalism into management. And therefore, I am preaching to you in place of profit. Profit is not a very good word. Let us think about the contribution as per the marginal costing. You have to behave like a professional manager in this post-pandemic period. The labor has come back to the rural area. They have come back from the Mumbai, Ghaziabad, Bengaluru, or this type of cities to the rural area. And now they are in the mood to remain into the rural sector. It is the case of reverse brain drain. In this post-pandemic, we have to think about this reverse brain drain. Our Indian farmers are best producers. Our Indian farmers are best producers. But we have to think about the skill enhancement of the Indian farmers, especially I am saying to you, marketing field. Our farmers are best producers, but whatever is there, they are not getting fair prices. In the month of March, they produce the potato in surplus farm. The prices declined. In the month of May, June, they have produced wheat. There is reduce in the prices. Let us think about providing Indian marketing services to the rural area. Provide them facility of storing, transportation, branding, packaging. For simplest example, if potato is not getting the price, convert the potato into potato chips. For every product, for wheat, the storing is possible. You can convert into form of dalia, the storing, the packaging, the grading. In this way, we can provide the job facilities to the Indian rural sector. But for that purpose, friends, I have to suggest the infrastructural growth. I am from Uttar Pradesh, from Banaras Hindu University, from Kashi. You are aware Kashi is the oldest living city of the entire world. It is the place of Lord Vishwanath. In my Uttar Pradesh, there was one political party known as BSP. With you, I'm not a political man, I'm an academic person. With your permission, I'm going to talk about different explanation about the BSP. Bijli Sadak Pani. Indian rural sector actually needs electricity, then roads, and then water supply. In this post-pandemic period, if you can provide the facility of roads, electricity, and water, everyone is interested to live into the rural area. We are not interested to go to the urban sector. But Government of India should take these two initiatives. Number one, Indian marketing services, and number two, development of infrastructure. Only then you can properly use the reverse brain drain. I'm coming to my topic, marginal costing, which is also known as CVP analysis, break-even analysis. Friends, in the field of management, we have to think about a strong professionalism. Only then you can convert our country, India, as super economic power. This decade is the decade for our country. We have to convert our India as Vishwaguru. We have to convert our India as super economic power. We are in the category of BRICS, 5 emerging economies of the world. Number 1, Brazil, Russia, Central Point India, China, and South Africa. These are the 5 emerging economies of the world. And India is in the central point. But for retaining this situation, for growing all that, let us think about developing our skills. With the permission of all, and especially HRDC and my friend and my guardian, Professor Jyoti Kumar Saab, I would like to add here one word, area. All of you are in the academic world. You must bother about this word area. Here A is the academic, R is research, E is extension, and lastly A, administration. All of you are teacher, must bother about these 4 points. Number 1, A, academic. Number 2, R, research. Number 3, E, extension. And lastly, A, administration. If your university or the college has to attain A grade by NAC, you have to attain A plus or A double plus. Please bother about number 1, academic. Friends, our universities are more than 1,000. Central universities, state universities, deemed universities, private university, so many nomenclatures are there. But the situation is very bad. As per our ex-president, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, if there is global ranking, our none of the Indian university is in the best 100 universities of the world. It is happening, friends. Colleges are in thousands, but even then, no any Indian university is in the global ranking. I have to suggest all of you, let us bother about value-based educational ranking. I'm not bothering about educational ranking. I'm preaching about value-based educational ranking. Number two, research. In research also, our scenario is bad. As per ex-HRD minister, nowadays is known as education minister, Professor Murli Manohar Joshi, he was teacher with me at Allahabad University. In India, only 0.1% researches are acceptable at the global ranking. I'm not saying 1%, I'm saying 0.1%. Out of 1,000, only one. Let us think about converting our researches into empirical form. We are writing the articles and we are claiming as research paper. We are writing the essay and we are claiming as research dissertation. Number third, extension activities. I am for my Banaras Hindu University, but through this online mode, I am working for entire my country, India, or the entire globe. In this post-pandemic period, let us bother about the online teaching, online research, and lastly, administration, good governance. Anyhow, which I started the marginal costing, the contribution approach. Let us take one specific case. All of you will please help me by noting this question, and by this specific question, I will try my best to explain the marginal costing philosophy. I am taking two products, product A and product B. Please note it. The sales is same for both 3 lakhs and 3 lakhs. There are two products or two companies having same sales, rupees 3 lakhs and 3 lakhs, minus variable cost. Variable cost means the marginal cost. The marginal cost or the variable cost for A is 2,40,000 and for B it is 2 lakhs. In this case, the contribution will be 60,000 and 1 lakh. Sales was 3 lakhs for both A company and B company both. Marginal cost or the variable cost 2,40,000. The contribution will be 60,000. For second, marginal cost is 2 lakhs, therefore the contribution is 1 lakh minus fixed cost. Minus fixed cost 30,000. The profit will be 30,000. The profit will be 30,000. For B company, the fixed cost is 70,000. Therefore, the profit will be 30,000. One simple case I have taken, friends. You are aware, in the field of business education, you please permit me, nowadays more popular word is business education, combining economics, commerce and management. I am very much sure our oldest discipline is political science. From political science, economics was originated. From economics, we originated the commerce. From commerce, there was one more growth which is known as management. And nowadays we are talking about applied management. This is the basic distinction between these disciplines. From economics to commerce, commerce to management, and management to applied management. In economics, there is more emphasis on theoretical foundations. In the case of theory, the persons of economics are really, really commendable, but there is lesser thrust on application. Applied economics was known as commerce. The same happened to commerce. Commerce people became theoretical. Therefore, we use the word applied commerce, which was known as management. And nowadays, we are talking about applied management. Friends, one more word there, business education, combining the economics, commerce, and management. Probably you are aware, in our discipline, there is no such thrust on one-way communication. My college philosophy, we are having a strong orientation about case study approach. The Harvard approach, Harvard University, Harvard Business School in USA. In the case study method, teacher is not the teacher. Teacher is the coordinator of the class. And students are not the students. They are simply learners. Both will interact. Okay, HK Singh can take 30% time, but all other participants will respond to it. Two-way communication. Friends, this online teaching is something substitute, but it is having some strong problem also. In direct teaching, there may be strong interaction with the participant. But anyhow, we are talking about the case study method, and through cases, we are explaining the theories to our students. The case which I have taken, if you are having belief of the full casting, total casting, absorption casting, you can say both companies are same. Starting from 3 lakhs, the sales figure, and now the target, the profit is also 30,000. But now I'm going to change it. Please note it. Decide which company is more profitable. Decide which company is more profitable in the case of heavy demand and low demand. Which company is more profitable in the case of heavy demand and low demand, with the support of marginal costing approach. With the support of marginal costing approach. Friends, through full casting, absorption casting, we can say both products are same. But if you are believing into the marginal costing, break-even analysis, CVP, the result will be different. Now let us compute the PV ratio, profit volume ratio. Profit volume ratio is equal to contribution upon sales multiplied by 100. Contribution upon sales multiplied by 100. Now compute the PV ratio for both the companies, for A and B. For A, it will be 60,000 upon 3 lakhs. The contribution is 60,000 upon 3 lakhs into 100. It will be 20%. For B, it will be 1 lakh upon 3 lakhs into 100 is equal to 33 1 by 3. We have contributed the PV ratio, profit volume ratio. Although the name is profit volume, but for our purpose, for this particular chapter, for this particular technique, profit means contribution. Therefore, it is contribution upon sales into 100. By this contribution upon sales into 100, the PV ratio is for A company 20%, and for B it is 33 1 by 3. Now point number 1. In the case of high demand, after 1991, in our economy, there was high demand. If there is high demand, the product, the company B is superior because company B is earning 1/3. Out of 100 rupee, B company is earning 33, 1/3. If there is high demand, if in the market there is boom, for example, after 1991, B company may be treated superior because it is having high PV ratio. This will be our answer. Now, in the case of low demand, point number 2, for example, in the pandemic period, everything changed. There was low demand. There was so many crises. In the case of low demand, firstly, we have to know the position of fixed cost and then understanding the philosophy of break-even point. Now note it. Break-even point is equal to fixed cost upon PV ratio. Break-even point is equal to fixed cost upon PV ratio. Fixed cost upon PV ratio. For a company, fixed cost is 30,000. 30,000 upon 20%. 20% means 30,000 into 100 upon 20. It will be 1,50,000. Break-even point for a company will be 30,000 into 100 upon 20, therefore 1,50,000. And for B company, 70,000 upon 33, 1/3 multiplied by 100. It means 3 times of 70,000. 70,000 into 100 upon 33, 1/3. Ultimately, it will be 2,10,000. You see, for a company, the break-even point is 1,50,000. For B company, it is 2,10,000. Therefore, in the case of low demand, A company is superior because it is having lesser break-even point. Soon we can reach to the break-even point. In the case of B, it will be 2,10,000. You can also compute the margin of safety. Margin of safety is equal to actual sales minus break-even sales. Actual sales minus break-even sales. In case of A Limited, 3 lakhs minus 1,50,000. The break-even will be 1,50,000. In the case of B Company Limited, 3 lakhs minus 2,10,000, it will be 90,000. In the case of low demand, A company is superior, having lower break-even point. There is higher margin of safety. In the case of A, in the case of B, there is lower margin of safety. So we have taken one specific case of one specific example in which the sales and the profit was same. But in the case of high demand and low demand, we are deciding that the product A is superior or product B or product or company B is superior. This marginal costing approach is viable only for short run. We are dividing the cost into two categories, fixed cost and variable cost. This type of classification is valid only for the short run. In long run, all the costs will become variable. This is a serious limitation that this approach is having short-term philosophy. But when this question was asked to Lord John Maynard Keynes, you are aware, the great economist, Keynesian economist, he wrote the book theory of employment, interest, and money. His theory, liquidity preference theory of interest. When he was highly criticized, and the entire world of economists were divided only into two categories. Few were supporters and all others were opposing John Maynard Keynes. What was the answer of John Maynard Keynes? I agree, my approach is for short run. But why should we bother about long run? In long run, everyone will die. And what is long run? Long run is the summation of various short run. What is 1 year? Total 12 months. What is 1 month? 30 or 31 or 28, 29 days. It is the 1 month. What is 1 day? 24 hours. If you are a successful short run manager, ultimately you will be successful long run manager. We have to bother about short run. If we can control the things into short run, ultimately in the future, the success will be yours. Friends, with your permission, the first lesson of management I have to explain. From my point of view, the first lesson of management is MBO, Management by Objective, propounded by Peter F. Drucker when he wrote the book, The Essence of Management. Friends, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. Only objective will decide what's the right and what's the wrong. You cannot say H.K. Singh is supposed every time to deliver the lecture. For this 1 hour and 30 minutes, I am supposed to deliver the lecture. Management by objective. Please permit me, because I am believing into clubbing the education with entertainment, which is known as edutainment. Some lighter movements club the education with entertainment also. If I am talking with my wife and I am preaching in such way, she will say that going to BHU, probably this thing is not working well. If I am talking to my mother and I am preaching in this way, she will not accept. Only for this 1 hour and 30 minutes, this is my role. Therefore, now you are aware, as per LPP, linear programming problem, number 1, objective functions. We are expected to be fully clear about the objective. If I am talking with you for 1 hour and 30 minutes, I am clear what I have to cover. My objective must be clear. Friends, for 1 day, for 1 month, for 1 year, for 1 life, our objective should be clear. What I have to achieve. I must dedicate 100% for that. In our country, the population is large. There is serious competition. Real Darwin's theory, survival of the fittest. Whether you are PhD or not, I am giving different explanation of PhD. Okay? P means patience. H is hard work. And D is dedication. If you are having confluence of these 3 attributes, patience, hard work, and dedication. Patience, hard work, and dedication. Be sure success is yours. I started with MBO. Firstly, we should be clear about the objective. Number 2 point, subject to the constants. You see, I decided certain objective. Constants came. Some technical problem was there. I could not be connected. But be sure, I will try my best to overcome all the barriers. Always for any pious work, certain hurdles will occur. If you are having some long run vision, definitely be sure certain hurdles will be there. Full life, entire life, be sure certain hurdles will occur. Third point is more important. Number 1, objective function. Number 2, subject to the constants. And third point is rather more important, non-negativity. I am from the place of Kasi, where there was Kabir. Please permit me the version of Kabir. Your behavior should be always positive. As per Kabir, सार सार को गही रहे थोथा देई बहाय. सार सार को गही रहे थोथा देई बहाय. Although it's difficult into Hindi, I'm explaining to English. Whatever is positive in HK Singh, it's yours. But be sure I'm not having all positive sides. I am a human being. I am having some negative sides also. If I am having only positive, I will become God. If I am a human being, certain negative things are in me. But please don't take my negative sides. All my positive sides are for you. You take it. You acquire my positive sides. In that case, you will become great personality. Anyhow, 3 points which I was intending to explain to you. Number 1, objective function. Number 2, subject to the constants. And number 3, non-negativity. You are having your own DNA, your own blood group. For example, my blood group is B positive. You may be A like that. But from today, our attitude should be only be positive. Never be negative, friends. Then be sure that we have to achieve the commanding heights in all the spheres. So what I started this marginal costing approach. Marginal costing, I agree, it is a short-term approach. This contribution philosophy, a paradigm shift from profit to the contribution. I agree, it is a short-term philosophy. But for short-term decisions, and ultimately it will convert into long-term success. Business is a difficult game. Be sure in every game there is some rule of the game. Business is a game, and in that game of business there are certain rules, and you are supposed to abide by the rules. If you are not accepting the rules, success is not yours. Into the case of professionalism, into the management, try to understand the philosophy of Dhirubhai Ambani. He started the RIL, and from 0 up to that limit of RIL was due to the Dhirubhai Ambani. But his son, the family style of management, he's having 2 sons. The younger is not having that type of intellect. Then RIL will not attain the commanding heights. Be sure that type of sacrifice, the rule of the game, must be in your mind. Only then you can achieve the success like RIL. In the field of management nowadays, we are strongly believing on the Hindustani cases. Professor Jyoti Kumar Saab, with your permission, I would like to explain only minor lessons from our Ramcharitmanas. In the field of management, we have been preaching about Japanese cases, Chinese cases, American cases, Korean cases. But this NEP 2020, which is talking about paradigm shift from Macaulay to Gurukula. Probably you are aware, Gu means light. Sorry, Gu means darkness and Ru means light. And Kul means family. The teachers will be the light. They will be torch bearer. And we are supposed to develop the Hindustani cases. Best case is into the Ramcharitmanas. Best case is into the Gita. In the case of Ramcharitmanas, there were 2. One led by Lord Rama. Lord Rama was having the support of Banaras Sena. And there was one hurdle. There was management by objective that we have to achieve success. Ravana should be defeated. But there was problem. Near Rameswaram, there was ocean. And now the Banaras Sena was perfectly demotivated. We could not construct the way in which Lord Rama motivated the entire Banaras Sena. Kachup sadhi raha balwana. You people are having enormous potential to do the work. And why you are having this type of inefficiency? Lord Rama motivated, and the Setu Rameswaram Rameswaram Bridge was constructed. We, the teachers, are supposed to be highly alert in this post-pandemic period. Our students are highly demotivated. They have become quite pessimistic. Entire society is pessimistic. Friend, COVID was not only threat, COVID is also the golden opportunity. COVID has given some positive sides also. In place of allopathy, now we are believing into Ayush. Otherwise, allopathic medicines were dominating to our country. Now the Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, which is known as Ayush. In place of the ready-made foods, now we are believing into the family foods. Indian style of this saluting. Even your environment has become quite clean. There are certain positive sides. Please try to convert the SWOT into TOWS. SWOT, HK Singh will explain, just reverse of SWOT. TOWS. It is management. Convert your threats into opportunity and weakness into strength. Your weakness is your strength. Your threat is your opportunity. Friends, publicly, I would like to explain my personal experience. When 35 years ago, I joined the management education at University of Allahabad. It was the Herculean task for me to teach MBA students. The students were highly intellectual. We were admitting only 15 students in the MBA program. And I was not so fluent about this PPT or even the slip system. You as teacher are also believing into PPT and book system or slip system. When I joined this teaching profession, I never relied on this PPT or this book or slip. I started my own innovation. And from my point of view, innovation means MAD. Make a difference. I will not believe in the line sketched by you. My new line will be there. In place of this PPT means computer. And slip means the books. I started my extempore explanation. If I have to talk about 2 hours, 10, 20 pages, I will note it and I will make the presentation my own way. You can do also. You are aware about the kite. Only those kites are attaining commanding heights which are against the wind. If you are flying the kite as per the wind, it may attain the distance but not the height. Anyhow, which I started this century, friends, 21st century, and especially this decade is the decade for India. We have to attain the position of Vishwa Guru. For that purpose, now let us think about a specific professionalism into the management. After few minutes, I will invite my participants if you are having any doubt, clarification, suggestion, because teacher is always learner. Be sure. I'm not here to preach you. I am here to learn with you. Only one thing, with your permission, I would like to make it lighter. In our teaching profession, there are 3 categories: assistant professor, associate professor, and professor. Nowadays, even senior professor, okay? But simply accept 3 categories: assistant, associate, and full professor. In the case of business, you are aware, whenever you are starting the business, there is normally last zone. Firstly, you will run the business on last. Normally it happens. Then there is break-even point, and then there is profit zone. It happens into the business. Firstly, the last zone, then the break-even point, and then the profit zone. Friends, please permit me. If you are assistant professor, normally it happens you are in the last zone. You are doing serious work. You are hard-working man, but even then you may get less return. Then when you will become associate professor, you are on break-even point. And when you are professor like me, we are in the profit zone. We are doing less effort, but we are getting more. It may happen. But be sure, in academic world, sometimes there may be loss zone, then the break-even point, and then there may be the profit zone. Anyhow, I was talking about the case study method. Case study method was originated by the Harvard Business School for our purposes, our subjects, commerce, economics, and management. But this case study method was applicable to medical field, law field, psychology, sociology, and now we are also adopting it. Be sure, in case study method, this two-way communication is very essential. Otherwise, one-way communication will become quite monotonous. Think about it. These courses of HRDC are our for teachers. They should learn that we have to make our classes interesting. And for purpose of making interesting to the class, we can believe into this case study method. Think about the Hindustani cases. Develop the cases from our Hindustani literature. One more example I would like to give you. Best example of MBO through Gita. Again, there was two specific groups. One was of Kauravas, another of Pandavas. Arjuna was quite demotivated, but in the way Lord Krishna was simply best style of management. The way in which Lord Krishna motivated Arjuna, we have to do it. Karmaneva adhikaraste ma phale sukdachana. The way in which Lord Krishna motivated the entire Pandavas, and then only success was there. Gita is full of the essence of management, the principles of management. Our Kautilya's book Arthashastra, it is full of the management lessons. Now I do hope, as per the requirement of NEP, National Education Policy, now you are aware, we are developing the 4 years UG program. Now in 4th year of undergraduate, our students will attain the skill of research. The degree will be awarded BCom Honors Research. Now it means we have to think about research orientation. I do hope you will think about clubbing your theory with the Hindustani cases. Only then our classes will become more and more interesting. For this particular day, at my place, at Varanasi, Kashi, we are celebrating Ganga Dasara. Very pious day. I am lucky that on that day, Thursday, which is the day of Lord Vishnu, the University of Mizoram and its HRDC, and especially my guardian, Prof. Jyoti Kumar ji, invited me for this pious academic work. I am thankful to all of you, and I am going to note, if you are having any question, any suggestion, any modification, I will note it. And in next 15 minutes approximately, I will try my best to answer your questions or any suggestion, because I am here to learn from you. Be sure, in academic world, everyone is equal. You cannot say my version is 100% right. It's not so. As per my knowledge, this was. Whatever I know till today. One day I was lecturing in my one class. My one student asked, "Sir, you are talking a lot about Lord Rama and Lord Krishna. Who is your role model, especially into the politics?" Friends, please permit me. It was the most difficult question for me. How can I say who is my role model into politics? If I will say Narendra Modi, they will say he is having something inclination to BJP or RSS. If I will say Rahul Gandhi, they will say, no, we will not accept it. I said, friends, just see by this hand. See it. It's unique. HK Singh hand are not on HK Singh. Whatever you are having, you are unique. You are unique. And I am my own role model. Whatever yesterday I performed, today I will do better than that. Whatever I am performing today, tomorrow I will improve it. My previous day work is the benchmark, and I will make sincere effort to improve the previous day work in comparison to the today work. I am having my own role model. I'm not going to talk about any political personality. Anyhow, I'm thankful to everyone, and now invite the participants. If you are having any question, or if they have written into chat box, तो ज्योति कुमार साहब हमको Please help me so
Yes,
that
sir.
I can note whatever they want to know from my side, because there must be some two-way interaction. Sir, over to the
Thank,
host.
uh,
Sir.
thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yours is the first lecture today. There was some small constraint, but despite that, that is not because of you, because of our side, some
No, it
lapse is
happens.
there. So, though it just shows your humility, though, when you are saying that it is your fault. Actually, it is not your fault. It is our fault only. So now, some questions, sir. Actually, I mean, our HRDC, as per our norms, we don't allow audio or video for the participants. So there are some questions. And one question is, what is meant by a product's contribution margin ratio? What is meant by, this question is from Dr. Paramasivan. What is meant by a product's contribution margin ratio, and how is this ratio useful in planning business operations? That is one question, sir. Some other questions also, please. I will read out. Sir, this is from Dr. Sanjay Sinha. Sir, you said 2020 is the year, which is, 1 minute. 2020 is the year, which is Vision 2020 of Dr. Kalam. And one of the goals of present government as self-reliance. So now, the concern is that if COVID-19 became a hurdle in this regard, so question is not that clear. Maybe he's asking about that 2020 Abdul Kalam's book was there, India 2020. Maybe he's asking whether we could achieve those goals, and has COVID prevented us to achieve those goals. Maybe I could understand from his question like that. Reliance, no, not self-reliance. Okay, yes, fine. So first, please take on these two questions, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I am thankful to the participants for asking these two questions. One was about the PV ratio. You are aware PV ratio is contribution upon sales into 100. This PV ratio is one of the technique for the purpose of profit planning. By this PV ratio, we can decide the break-even point, which I explained you, fixed cost upon PV ratio. Even this PV ratio may be applied for desired profit. For example, if you have to earn 40,000 more, the formula will be fixed cost plus desired profit upon PV ratio. So this PV ratio is one of the technique of profit planning. But with your permission, I would like to change. Nowadays, although in LPP, linear programming problem, we use profit maximization or cost minimization. Nowadays, I use the word profit optimization. Don't use the word profit maximization. As businessmen, try to earn minimum per unit profit. Minimum per unit profit, so that your market share should be large. If you will earn minimum per unit profit and your market share is large, ultimately your total profit will be high. Be sure in market we should make sincere effort to attain the more and more market share by adopting the philosophy of per unit minimum profit. Second question was about Vision 2020 of Abul Kalam. Although we could not do it, Abul Kalam, a great man, he thought about Vision 2020 that India will attain the position of super economic power. Somehow 2020 was there, but in our country there was COVID-19. But two sincere efforts, one NEP and another which he was saying self-reliant India, ANPA, Atma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. These two, if in the real sense we can do it, really I have to suggest, Planning Commission was started in 1951. Now, Planning Commission has been converted into Niti Aayog, National Institution of Transforming India. Professor Jyoti Kumar Saab, normally we prepare timetable. Now I am suggesting in place of timetable, we must be careful about implementation of timetable. Otherwise, good timetables are prepared, but we are not teaching as per timetable. The same should be for Government of India. We are preparing good plans, but those plans should be implemented only by preparing the plans into New Delhi or Lucknow or capital cities. Rural India could not be developed. India really needs the proper implementation. Only then we can think about the growth. But the inclusive growth philosophy of this government, which is known as Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, which is also known as Antyodaya, as per Vinova Bhave, Antyodaya, as per Ruskin, unto the last. All is same. Antyodaya, unto the last, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, are this government inclusive growth. Friends, I have to suggest whenever we are going to the class, implement this Antyodaya. The weakest student of my class is my target. I have to bother. The last student must attain all the 100% explanation. I'm making it lighter. Experts are coming to the class. And the way in which they are explaining the methods and techniques, neither they are understanding nor the God is understanding. Expert is the person who will make the complex issues simplest. Only then you are expert. Only then there is Antyodaya. There is unto the last. In our teaching field also, we have to adopt this philosophy of Antyodaya. Anyhow, only two questions were from your side. Then only one, two things I have to add. India really needs in present world, in post-pandemic era, development of marketing strategy. And especially I am saying marketing of service sector. In service sector, Indians are unparalleled as teacher, as advocate, as doctor, as musician, as IT software. I'm not saying hardware, software. We are unparalleled. We are generating ideas here. It's my production fact. But we have to improve our marketing. In marketing, we are up to some extent poor. In India, really, we need to enhance the marketing of the service sector. If we can improve the marketing of service sectors, we can achieve the excellent position into the service sector. We are not so extremely well for the industrial culture. We can achieve success into the service sector. Therefore, I am suggesting enhancing the marketing skills of the service provider. Only then our market share into the world market will improve. Now the time is only 5-6 minutes more, and I have to go my own university BHU. Therefore, with your permission, I am going to wind up today presentation. I am thankful to Professor Jyoti Kumar Saab and his university, University of Mizoram, its HRDC, for inviting me. Although I do believe into direct interaction. Offline teaching is marvelous. Online teaching is simply formalistic. But in this pandemic era, there was no chance of direct communication, direct teaching. Therefore, we are relying somehow, and by this online teaching, online research, somehow the examination, the teaching, even research was conducted. But I do hope now in the near future, in my university now we have started the offline teaching. In this month also, there is no summer vacation. We are running the classes for second semester through offline mode. And I do hope very soon in the entire country, especially the educational world, the things will be new normal. And this 2022 will become the historical year for India. I do believe this will become the golden. I'm preaching for this thing for the last 2 years. That when the in 2020 the pandemic started, I started saying that in 2 years probably we will out of the pandemic. And I do hope from this year 2022, India will turn its into entire scenario and we will attain the commanding heights, especially into the educational and economic scenario. Now over to the host. Thanks to everyone, and I do hope whatever was possible, I tried my best in between certain constants. Thanks to everyone from Banaras Hindu University and my personal behalf for inviting me for this pious work. Thanks to everyone. Over to the host.
Thank you so much, sir. There is a lot of appreciation from the participants, and they are immensely benefited because of this interaction. And more than imparting knowledge, they got some inspiration from you, sir. Though this is online, as if some 100 audiences are there in the classroom in front of you, you spoke in such a way with such a passion. So for me, P means passion. I think though you said it is patience, right? So I think you are very much passionate about teaching, research, and extension. And actually, though the topic is you selected very specific topic relating to costing, the CVP analysis, you touched upon all the aspects, most of the aspects of management, commerce, economics, business education, new education policy, and edutainment. Now I understood. I should share about your family with the participants here, and yours is a family of business studies teachers. Madam is a commerce professor, I know. And your young son, I think he also started his career in the university system, I think, as a faculty member. I think even your daughter-in-law is also a faculty member. So now I understand the 4 professors with very senior, two very
Lord
senior,
Viswanath,
two very
Lord
young,
Viswanath.
right?
Not Lord Viswanath.
So I think I used to think that it is like an academic house, but now you know how to enjoy entertainment also without sacrificing academic things. So thank you very much, and we are grateful to you. Actually, we are very much grateful to you. You found time for our participants, and thank you so much, sir. Namaskar. Namaskar, sir.
All the best to everyone. Thank you. Regards.
Nice, sir. Nice. Thank you. Now we have another professor, Professor Vanlal Chona. He is one of senior professors in Mizoram University. He is basically from economics department, professor of economics, and he has more than 3 decades of teaching experience in college as well as in the university system. And he is also finance officer. He is at the helm of our university as finance officer. And for more than last